that shit hurt. Gotta get it out the dirt. I don't know which is worse. I wanna go on.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy V Steez, and
Relative.
you already know what we do here on the Mx2 Experiment. So we got a few things going on this week. We couldn't unfortunately have a guest today, so we're gonna push it to another week. We have a few things to talk about with like underground artists. I mentioned that last podcast. You know, we're gonna have a new routine and things. And how I wanted to begin this podcast is the work ethic and the
Processing and shit.
of all underground artists, people like us.
Right.
I see a lot of them. Struggling because they're not getting this or they're not doing that, and a lot of it has to do with them stopping themselves, basically, like they're hindering their own growth, type shit. You know what I mean? Have you seen any of that?
Yeah. It's pretty much like, you know, it's a thing I heard is like being talented isn't even top 5 of the things you need to do to actually start getting noticed and getting out there and stuff like that. Because people get complacent, think, oh, I got bars. People say I got bars, but if you don't know the business part on how to get your music produced, monetized, and stuff, and organized, pretty much, people don't want to have to put in that much work. They're hoping that, like, out of a fluke, somebody see they shit, like, hey, I like what you're doing.
Yeah, like it's just gonna stumble across them. Otherwise, those same people that are hoping and wishing, fingers crossed, might as well be the drummers beating on fucking paint gallon buckets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People in New York, you see them on the corner, you know what I'm saying? And
Usually they have like little extra buckets on out there so people can walk by and throw a little.
Yeah, throw a little change in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now you would think, you know, being humble and skills and talent and this and that and this and that, but in actual reality, like that isn't even 80% of what it is.
Right.
Like talent is 20% of the work.
And what I have realized over studying about the music, you could find somebody that would pretty much give you like a little deal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know how the stuff works, they could misuse your art.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you get to the mainstream, they'll give you a contract plus millions, and then they give you a bonus, whatever, and that bonus is 100% yours. So they tell you spending on chains, spending on car clothes, so you could hold up that image. But if you don't know how to invest your money the right way, that signing contract money, you would literally have to pay that back plus some, because that's for your studio time,
exactly,
for your promotions, for your
people tend to think. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
People, it falls exactly into that because a lot of artists, I'm talking to y'all, a lot of artists think that you get signed and like you get free studio. No, you still got, if you got signed by Sony Records and Sony pays you $100,000, you still got to pay Sony Studios X amount of money for whatever studio block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to go to your homeboy because you know they'll cut you a deal and they got some good studio time. You got a $100,000 check, bro.
Right.
You know damn well they're gonna be like, yo, are you gonna drop some bread on the studio time, right? Like it is. You know what I mean? It's. You know, like, what are you gonna do? Try to save all your money and go to your friend down the block who isn't as good as a Sony, and end up, you know, coming out with bad quality and still owing the company?
Exactly.
No, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and then another thing about that contract signing thing, if your money, I mean, not your money, but if your music doesn't pop,
oh yeah,
that's money you have to pay back.
Yup. Mm-hmm.
And then they'll give you an extra contract to give you some more money. Then you get even in a deeper.
All that Instagram stuff, like likes, follows, and this and that. You have to convert it. Listen, everybody. You need to convert It's the ratio of 33.3. There's human psychology in this promotion stuff, y'all.
Right.
I'm looking at all the cameras because I want everybody to like really like listen. There is a rule of thumb that like if you're sitting there talking to people, one of those 3 people, 1 out of 3 will be listening. The other 2, one will be not listening and one will be half listening.
Right.
So why don't you think that the same is gonna happen with your music? You think that you're that good. You think that you're fucking the bee's knees. You are the best thing since Michael Jackson.
Right. Because when you do your music and you feeling it, it's a personal connection.
Your personal connection.
So you be listening to every word you say.
Mm-hmm.
But it might not be the same for another person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it just.
And then there was another thing I found out. That's why most mainstream artists, they charge you for a feature. Nicki Minaj be charging people between $250,000 for a feature and stuff like that. That's money that's untaxed and straight to her, because she getting it from the artists that want her on their track. Because she know, and if you see a Nicki Minaj name on your track, it's gonna go up just for the fact that somebody that good is on your shit.
Right.
That's why some people are lucky. Like for me, when it comes to like gangster music and stuff, by you actually being in the street around the people that you bang with and stuff, they gonna promote your shit. That's how you end up getting cosigns and stuff like that.
That is facts.
Somebody in that area or in that city gonna have connection on somebody that might get you to that next level. But it's not gonna happen just because you slept one good night and woke up feeling good. You actually gotta go out there and look and keep
grind hard.
Networking is one of the best ways to get to know other people, producers, rappers, graphic arts, people that make merch.
Networking is not only just getting a message from somebody saying, "Oh, hey, good music." Like they're, first of all, people are trying to put positive energy because there's a lot of negatives. So people are for sure trying to put positive energy. Not saying everybody's a dick rider, but I'm saying like if someone says, "Oh, nice music," that's because well, what your mama tell you? If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
Exactly.
Hey, nice music, bro. And like, don't necessarily take that. And I learned this from this dude called Adam Ivy. Don't necessarily take all the comments, and I know it's kind of self-explanatory. Don't take all the comments on the internet to heart.
Yeah.
Especially negative and especially positive shit, because that shit can get to your head, bro.
It'll mislead you.
It'll mislead you and fucking have you thinking.
It's kind of like drinking liquor that gives you what do you call that?
Liquid courage.
A fake confidence.
Like yes, false confidence.
Yeah, false confidence and stuff like that. So and then everybody that do want to help you, they might not have your best interest. That's why lately, when people be coming up getting big off their music, that little group they started with turned out to be some daily beef and stuff like that. That's why people getting shot in their own town because somebody's jealous.
Somebody's jealous. Left them out. But that's the thing is, we talked about this before too. I'm not sure if it was on this podcast or just a live, but bridging the gap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you grow and you learn all these things, and the motherfuckers around you don't want to grow with you and don't want. So and so didn't have to do it, so I'm just gonna do it like. Nah. This is the program that we're on over on this side, and if you don't want to grow, if you don't want to be a part of this program, what we got going on, not what you're doing, then you could go do what you're doing over there.
Right. And it's a different era too, because back in the days, if you out there rapping on the corner and stuff like that, you have a better chance of getting noticed and stuff. But by everything being digital and online and stuff like that, you're gonna have to find somebody, because it's getting harder and harder to find people with good music. If you make some type of music that influence people, it might not be always positive. There's a lot of rappers out there that got big over like talking about suicide, depression, all that stuff. Like Juice WRLD talks about dark stuff. Triple X talk about dark stuff. Lil Xan, Lil Pump, So they what was that word when you clout chasing type stuff. You have to be negative to get more fans to like listen to your music and stuff like that, because they like controversy. That's why back in
I
the
see
day
what you're
when it
saying,
came to like diss tracks, everybody liked that shit. Everybody liked it, but
there's actually where it'll tie back into but there's actually controversy going on with like Adam 22 and who is it, Vlad TV, I think, or somebody, I can't remember.
Vlad TV, I heard of that.
Yeah, he's like an interviewer dude,
Right.
but like he's the way he asks questions is real police like.
You trying to incriminate somebody?
Yeah, no, dead ass.
I don't hate him or anything. I don't really know the dude, but the most annoying person I've seen as a podcast maker is Charlamagne the God. He has no fucking filter. That's the entertaining part. Like somebody's gonna end up fucking him up in his studio. You already seen when he went out when he had that interview with Baby. It was put some respect.
I'll treat y'all.
Put some respect on my name with that. And it was funny because one time that nigga got caught in New York. Nigga over here, nigga was trying to jump him and shit. Nigga over here running through traffic and running behind cars and shit. Cause he got a mouth on him.
Damn it, I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. I tried my hardest not to do that on the podcast. I do that shit in real life so fucking much. What was we just talking about?
We were talking about you're talking about Vlad and some other dude.
Controversy.
Yeah, controversy, pretty much.
Basically that Adams, basically that like all he speaks on is like a lot of negative, senseless gang killing and just like black on black violence and stuff like that. And you know, he was just trying. Honestly, it does sound like PR scripted fucking dialogue. Like he is right on the money. Like, this is you know, they're coming on my platform to promote themselves. Like it's very scripted, very well practiced.
Right.
Like it's not that he's avoiding the questions, but like it's like, dude, answer the question.
Right.
Basically, like, would you agree that, or would you think or agree, however the questions were put? They were asked multiple times.
Right.
But would you agree that you know, your interviews or your work has boosted or had an impact on the killing rates and this and that because of people that would come to an interview and then die the next day because so and so saw it and you know they happen to mention them or
it's
X, Y, and
crazy
Z.
you said that because
Go ahead.
it's crazy you said that because real ones in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
Shout out to my boy relative and Mx2 in this bitch, yo.
You know me? Just cool.
With what's his name? That got shot. What's his name? At the cookie store.
Young Dolph.
Yes, he went on a podcast with what's the dude that always do the little podcast when you drinking liquor all the time, stuff like that. Nori.
Yeah, Nori.
Yeah. He actually had a podcast with him, talking about just be careful out there because people in your own city will try to do something wrong to you.
Yeah.
And then I don't know when that podcast came out, but it eventually happened. He eventually got caught, in the cookie store or whatever. And
Yeah.
I don't know what them people were feeling that day, but they knew where he was because they had some artillery. They didn't like, oh, let's go back and get the artillery and come back. They knew that he was in the store and stuff like that, so they ended up shooting him. In his own town.
You can that's the not timid, but that's the sensitive part about like, rest in peace Nip.
Yes.
Is people unfortunately get killed in their own city, and that's where like exactly what all the point is like there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of hatred.
The success gets under other people's skin for no reason.
Because we came from the same area, and I say we is because I'm speaking for all underground artists.
Right.
And we come from the same level, the same place on the platform, and so like we basically none of us are any better than anybody else, and we all need to. Like,
no matter how bad you think you are, somebody out there a little bit better.
That's the purpose of pushing positivity and love, is to just nip all of it in the bud and grow together.
Yeah, you don't always have to be hard all the time. You know, you can show somebody kindness. Some
Yeah.
people have like an ego that they're afraid to show kindness because it might be taken as weakness.
And that's what you do is you kill them with kindness.
Yes.
So that's all the time for today's show. Your boy V Steez.
Your boy Relative.
Stay tuned for next week's episode of the Mx2 Experiment.